Your new broadcast,
And
and let me triple check it
that
that
we
we
are
are actually
actually live.
live.
And yeah,
And yeah, I know my camera's in the struggle. I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like
Okay.
we're
Looks like
live.
we're
All right.
live. All right.
What up, what up,
What
what
up?
up?
What up? What up?
Dusty
Dusty
Boaz
Boaz
Henry here.
Henry here.
Boaz standing for
Boaz
the
standing for
believer
the
of the
believer of
Alpha
the
and
Alpha
the
and the
Omega.
Omega.
Z
Z
representing the
representing the
last letter
last
in the
letter in
alphabet
the
for the
alphabet for the
Omega.
Omega.
Henry standing
Henry
for
standing
high
for
earning,
high
not
earning,
rich
not
yet,
rich yet,
but I'm
but I'm
still
still
dusty.
dusty.
Y'all forgive me.
Y'all
It
forgive
looks
me.
like
It
my
looks like
camera is
my
a little
camera
bit
is
in
a
the
little bit
struggle
in the
mode
struggle
over here.
mode over here.
Um,
Um,
but you
but
know, we'll have to get
we'll
it
have to get
together
it
here. I
together
might do
here. I might
this.
do this.
Oh, it's still in the
It's still
struggle
in the
even if I
struggle,
do
even
that.
if I do that.
Ah,
Uh,
okay. I have to
I
figure
have to
that out.
figure that out.
So,
So,
gentlemen,
gentlemen,
welcome. We got
welcome. We
the
got the
superstar
superstar,
Dr. Dre
Dr. Dre,
and first
and
time
first
guest
time
here,
guest here,
Holy, and
Holy, and
the
the
regular
regular,
but
but
illustrious
illustrious
KD.
KD.
And we're
And
here
we're here
today.
today.
What we
What we
discussing today,
discussing
gents?
today,
How
gents?
we looking?
How we
Like,
looking? Like,
what is the
what is the
word on the
word on
street?
the street?
What are we
What are
talking
we
about
talking
today?
about today?
I would assume Cat Williams, huh?
Man, you know, there's
You
so
know,
many
it's
people
so many people that
that done
done
chimed in their
chimed
two
in their
cents
two
with
cents
this
with
Cat
this Cat
Williams thing.
Williams
I'm like,
thing. I'm like,
I'm Cat
I'm
Williams
Cat
talked
Williams
out.
topped
I
out.
did
I
hear
did
Mike
hear
Epps say that
Mike
he
Epps
was
say that he
upset
was
that
upset that
Cat didn't
Cat
choose to
didn't choose
talk
to
about
talk
him.
about him.
He said,
He said,
I need the
I need the
publicity.
publicity.
I need him
I
to
need
talk
him to
bad
talk
about me
bad
so I
about
can
me so
get
I
some
can get
people
some people
on my
on my
side.
side.
So
So
I don't know.
I
What
don't
is there
know what
left to
is there
say? I
left to
mean,
say. I
he
mean,
felt like he
he
was
felt like
standing
he
on
was standing on
business, as they
business,
say.
as they say.
And
And
I don't know. A
I
lot
don't
of
know. A
people
lot
took
of people
offense
took
of it.
offense of it.
What's left to
What's
say?
left to say?
Uh, well, I mean, I think he was telling the truth about a lot of that stuff, and I think that this was probably his last opportunity to say some stuff where he would actually have credibility,
Right, right.
because I feel like a lot of folks, are on the verge of writing Cat Williams off as just being a dopehead, to be honest.
Well, what is
Well,
that
what is
that he was
that
talking
he was
about where
talking
he had
about where
never
he had
done a
never
hard
done a
drug
hard
before?
drug before?
Well, that's the part that I don't know how true that stuff is. Because remember, he was looking real strung out um, a few years back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
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 yeah. He
yeah.
So
He
I
was.
don't know
was.
what that's about, but I don't think it minimizes what he was saying about those other artists. And then like Shannon Sharp, you know, Shannon Sharp is a tool to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't dislike him, but watching that whole thing, he was pretty cringy to me. He didn't even get the cat was talking down to him right in his face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shannon. I
Shannon.
don't feel
I don't
like
feel like
Shannon gets a
Shannon
lot of
gets a lot of
things.
things.
I don't know
I
if
don't
it's
know if it's
just.
just.
I can't say
I
that
can't
it's
say
just
that it's just
ignorance. It might
ignorance.
just
It
be
might
that
just
he
be that
doesn't
he
care.
doesn't care.
But
But
it doesn't
it
really
doesn't really
seem
seem
like
like
kind of like what
kind of
Kat
like
was
what Kat
saying.
was
Some of the
saying. Some
questions
of the
that you should
questions
have been
that you should have
asking
been
the people
asking
that
the
you
people
already
that
had
you
on your
already had on your
platform, you want to
platform.
come and
You
throw
want
it
to
up
come and
in
throw
my
it up
face
in
as
my
if I
face
had
as
an
if I
answer.
had the answer.
And I'm
And
yeah,
I'm
I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm
yeah,
like, well,
that
yeah,
that kind of
that
makes
kind
sense
of
to
makes
me.
sense to me.
Why you asking
Why
me
you
all
asking
these
me all
questions
these
and you
questions
didn't want
and
to
you
ask
didn't want to ask
Tom, Dick, Joe, and
Dick,
Eric
Joe, and
the
Eric
questions
the
when you
questions
had them
when you
here on
had them
your
here
show?
on your show?
Then he had
Right.
that
He
run
had that
around
run
talking
around
about,
talking
well,
about, well,
uh,
uh,
I just
I just
believe that
believed that
everything that they
everything
were
that they
saying
were
was the
saying was
truth,
the truth,
and I didn't
and I didn't
question them on
question
their
them on their
truths.
truths.
I'm like,
I'm like,
yeah, I hear
yeah,
you
I
on
hear
that,
you
bro,
on
but
that, bro, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
Dang. Did he question Cat on his truth?
Nah,
Nah,
he sure
he
didn't.
sure didn't.
No, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like Shannon Sharp, I don't know. I mean,
It's
he's
hard
ignorant.
to it's hard to fact check in real time. Like you can only take somebody's
Yeah,
word for it and then go back and research. after you're done. Like
Right. So
he's not a journalist. You know,
exactly.
that's not what he does. Like he has discussions kind of like Joe Rogan. So he says
Right.
things probably not coming from a place of knowledge, but it's supposed to be entertaining and, you know, an interview talking about different things.
Yeah, and and that's the thing. Like when Cap first got on there, he said, I don't do a lot of interviews. I don't come on a lot of shows unless it's somebody of an amazing ilk, like Larry King or whatever. But then he said, I came on your show because. So he letting them know, like, bro, I wouldn't even be on here if I didn't have to come on here to defend myself, you know? And I feel him, and that's the thing. Here's my takeaway from it. The one thing that he said that was applicable, I think, to everybody in life was when he referenced Faison saying that, oh, anybody can get a Netflix special, right? And he said, I got 12 Netflix specials. Faison has 0. Why is he allowed to speak on the matter, right?
Right.
So the takeaway is, like, you can't let people that don't have any business or authority in your lane, whatever it is, speak on something about you. Like, there's just the whole turn the other cheek and all that. But if you let fools talk enough, they will have a platform and it will discredit you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's still a business. Like, I'll share a little story. I had a went to a dental thing, and y'all know I'm a car guy. Like, I take the Pepsi challenge against almost anybody when it comes to talking about cars. And I'm talking about like tooling on them, like I know them, from knee high, So dentists think they know everything about everything. And so I went to this function, and two folks started talking to me about cars that don't have a thimble of the knowledge that I do. And I say that like with conviction. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stuff that they were saying was so erroneous, but then they were trying to challenge some things that I know for fact. And most people say, man, you should just let them talk. You don't even need to engage with that. But you can't. Because if you got two folks that are speaking from a place of ignorance, challenging you, if you let that go, now the next time the story gets told, oh, such and such school Dre on something. Right? So you have to control the narrative. You have to know when it's time to do that. And I think this was Cat Williams' time to do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
I can see that.
A lot of people talk to say something, and some people talk when they have something to say.
Well, to be fair too, well, I mean, he went on there not knowing it would be viral. So I guess,
I don't know if Cat
I don't
does
know if Cat
anything
does
that he
anything
thinks
that he
won't be
thinks won't be
viral.
viral.
yeah, like if he knew he was going to be calling people out, like maybe he knew that, you know, there was going to be some kind of attention paid. So, you know, as he's going in, uh, I think that was just kind of fuel on the fire, you know, just to keep going, like one after the other. And some of the stuff, honestly, didn't really seem like a call out to me. Like just because he mentioned your name doesn't mean he was calling you out. It depended on
Right.
what he was actually saying.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with
I
that.
agree
So
with that.
a lot of it was he was saying names and people was like, "Oh, you were in the Cat Williams interview." That doesn't mean they were getting called out, you
Right.
know. So I think a lot was made of nothing in some in some of it, but the biggest part of it obviously was the Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
And the Ricky Smiley. I think Ricky Smiley was the main target. And the way that it needs to be played, like, let's be real, people who I don't think, like, him calling out Steve Harvey wasn't earth shattering, because that word has been out on him for a long time by a bunch of other people in the industry, right? So people that don't rock with Steve Harvey don't rock. Like, I don't care for him, you know what I'm saying? But his crowd, his audience aren't going to be checking for Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's two different things. So like if I was Steve Harvey, that die on the line, right? Cedric would have been better off letting it die on the line too, because Cat got receipts for the stuff. And to be real, he's the type of cat that I wouldn't even want to get in an argument with, because I feel like it's going to be ignorant.
Yeah, because when he started talking about people's swap meet jury and TJ Maxx jury and getting them fired later on, I don't know where you expect to go with that conversation. You battling somebody that could care less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. So, I mean, my thing about the whole Cat Williams, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like most of what he was saying with the quote unquote calling people out is true, because if it's not, it damn near is suicide. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Literally, yeah. And I don't think that he would have done that like that, because now you see Kevin Hart is threatening with defamation.
I'm about done with this dude, Kevin Hart. I'm watching the NBA, and this dude on like, if they show 5 commercials, he on 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a plan. I don't care if I was Hart, I would give a damn if it was or not. Hey, I'm getting paid. And I think there's a place for Kevin Hart. Like, I never would have put him as the replacement for Cat Williams. But however, in the eyes of Hollywood, I could see how Hollywood, okay, we need a short commercial dude that we can control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Cat Williams was never going to be that, because Cat Williams is too woke for them, for mainstream.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just feel like that subject is talked up and talked out, because my FYP is just full of responses and people just now watching the 2-3 hour interview, just now responding, and I don't know anything that's I think everybody's kind of just jumping on bandwagon to get some more clicks on that. So I'm over that. I think I want to talk about is this 80% of men have not had sex in a year. I don't think I want to talk about that.
Where do you see that at? Where you can't just.
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Where's that?
They got a lot of. I think in 2021. It moved up to 30%, and it's just been going up. Where did I see that? Actually, it was
tabloid.com.
I can pull it up. Let me see if it'll let me. Because the computer is definitely in the struggle mode over here today. Let me see if it'll let me pull it up.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I'll put in my 2 cents on this whole Cat Williams setup. First off, the way Cat Williams makes his money is off of live shows. Off his, just like he said, he does the small clubs, everything like that. And now with him being on fire right now, he basically got himself guaranteed sales just for the rest of 2024, hands down. Right. The same way when Dave Chappelle teamed up with Chris Rock for their tour, guaranteed sold out shows, no ifs, ands, or buts. So one thing, I think he was playing the system that, hey, if you go viral, that's automatic money in your hands. Mm-hmm. Next thing, most of the people that he was talking about, his comedy crowd does not overlap, because Steve Harvey is basically older white people is his bread and butter audience. Kevin Hart's bread and butter audience is basically younger white people to younger black people back when he was actually doing really good stand-ups back in the day. Would say a good 5 years ago. And he was on fire. He could have been a plant, but his stand-up was on fire then. So you can't go knock him for that or anything like that. I mean, whoever wrote his material, he was knocking out of the park. Even if he wrote it, he was doing good shows. That cannot be taken away from him. Okay, going down to the Ricky Smiley on Friday after next, which is technically, arguably the worst Friday out there. but I would even say that, hey, that was a big win in any standpoint. But that character, Money Mike, he used basically that pimp comedy skit over like 4 different platforms, because he basically did the same thing as a pimp named Slickback in the Boondocks, and then he used the pretty much verbatim words that he did for Money Mike. He did that in like what other movie did he do that in?
Oh, he did. Orbit.
Yeah, did it in Orbit, and then he also did it in his stand-up. So I mean, basically he rode that character through 4 or 5 different roles. So I mean, it was cool, but it got played out eventually. But I mean, he can't say he's the greatest if he's running on the same character for almost probably close to 7 years. He was running that same character. Okay. So I mean, to me, everything is all about clicks and money right now, and if you still a bit of with anybody, that's guaranteed money, because the way the internet has everybody wrapped up in it, because the internet never loses. Pretty much that's the way to win. And so, hey, I'd stir the pot with one of y'all if it's gonna get me paid. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so about these men that aren't getting it in. Okay, hit it.
Yeah. What's the meaning of it?
What is the meaning of it? What is saying? I'm getting it in.
Yeah, like what is the article they're referencing? They're saying it just ain't happening. What they're do they have some type of?
I'm doing a Google search. I know you can't see on your screen. It's just spinning. It's really in a struggle right now.
That means old Dusty is making it up. That's what he is.
I wonder if I can.
You hear Captain, bro.
Is that what I'm doing? Let me see
if I can get the screen on my. Let me see if I can get it on my phone.
Either way, I've heard the roundabout statistics. I couldn't give you the actual number, but the number was low about men getting it in for whatever reason. And I can speak on a handful of topics of reasons why, but it all would boil down to, once again, social media, video games, and just the culture of life. Meaning that if you go out to the grocery store, or go out to Costco, or go out to the mall, or wherever the fuck, if you're going out and people are walking around by themselves, 95% of them will have some Apple earbuds, Beat Dre buds, or some type of headphone that keeps the world around them. So it's pretty hard as a single dude to be like, hey, let me holler at you a bit, because not only do you have to get the courage to talk to them, you have to get the courage to basically take them out of their flow of listening to whatever the hell they got going on in their earphones, and then you still have to come up with something fly to try and get their attention. And that's it. And even if you're the younger generation is even bold enough to have any type of conversation or anything like that, because they generally have the earbuds in their ear anyway. The next aspect of that goes to what people do on the webs is basically talk to people on the internet where there is no repercussion for your actions, if that makes sense. Like, people bold behind the keyboard, well, they'll talk all the shit in the world, but as soon as they're in the same room with you, they ain't got it to say to you. Even if it's a hello, they won't even say that shit because they don't know how to talk to anybody. So I do believe in the statistics that are skewed to the point that nobody's getting in. But then at that point, you really need to how fast the internet is and how much important it figures. And at that point, it's seeing the statistics for Houston being the capital of the world or the United States right now. At this point, my hand is in 6th place.
I think the worst part of that is that we are the primary carriers of that. We being an American, primarily an American woman, and these are the statistics that are just coming out. The poll. Here we go. September 26, 2023. This you all can see it. They can already see it on the side. But again, this computer is really in trouble. Me trying to share screen is probably going to cause it to happen.
Yeah, for what? Conversation.
Say that again.
I said your video hasn't been showing this whole conversation.
Yeah.
This
I
don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
But no, it's not even doing the share screen right now. I'll read it. Sexlessness, societal win, hookup culture not real. Article published. Who is this? The Manny Cohen, the official university. Man, this computer really wants me to read the channel. It popped up this like 20 times. These are sex twist times for sexless men at sex frenzy 20-something. In the United States, nearly 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 and 30 report having no sex in the past year, while nearly 5 women in that age bracket were the same. Most statistics have jumped up from hovering around 10 in 2008. Both men and women are having less sex these days. Men's higher rates of self-esteem get the most real estate in headlines Google. Men having less sex. And you'll notice the former between men and women have less sex. Former searching articles with men in the headline. Meanwhile, searching the latter for women, a slew of articles about why is generally having less sex.
So this was published
in the Huck magazine. Looks like the statistics have gone up in 2020 because of the pandemic. A lot of people are saying STDs aren't sexy. That's exactly what Foley was saying.
But the same says
hookup culture doesn't exist. The study about that in 2014 a real thing. Man, this computer's not going to have that. It's not going to cooperate tonight.
It might have used to be a thing, but kind of like a peaks and valleys type of thing. It's like it hooks up and it's like no, things like back again and then over. So.
Yeah. I think what I find is that it seems like we don't have a general understanding of what we want. I'm going to say that both from men and women, general understanding of this, and that makes having these conversations like this more. I think all of that. It's come down to a lot of the older generation have started to follow the younger generation into communicating on these apps.
Disingenuous. Yeah. And then the other thing, they don't look at it as putting their life on the line. Even though a BBL, even when it's done right, it's one of the most dangerous elective medical procedures you can have done.
And yet they're still going out here and doing it.
But they don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Getting fat in 7 months.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's a very small subset of women too.
No. I don't think so. I don't think
I'm gonna work out now.
Work out now. You
gave me a head start. Set your body up, but now I'm gonna work out. Come on, stop it.
Yep. Well, as long as Holy War is still chasing after the dudes, then they ain't got to worry about working out. Because he got his vape and he got his dudes. He good to go. He gonna be when the dude ain't around, he gonna be beating his meat. That's what he said.
Glad you got jokes. I misspoke.
I don't know, man. We scared of man.
Oh, no. Ain't no proof of that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, brother.
Nah, I was saying I was falling asleep when you were trying to set this whole thing up, so I was already tired.
The setup ain't going too well because the cameras, as you can see, is in struggle mode. Well, I don't know. Again, the sister that we know that went out and got the BBL. I know you all are saying that they're doing it for themselves, but how are they doing it for themselves if they're copying someone else trying to get the same attention that they're getting?
I don't
Yeah,
even know if that's what's happening though.
It's clout. It's like I got 10,000 to go get this or 20,000 to go get this done, and they showing out for their girls. Like that's what I mean by for themselves. It's like amongst their peers.
Yeah, like I don't, it is a self-confidence, self-esteem thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can work out and do all that. It's the same reason why any dudes will say, you know what? I'm gonna wake up in the morning and get in the gym. Like you got some dudes as athletes, but like I go to the gym not religiously, but I just do it to stay relevant and to stay on the planet.
Right.
So you got a lot of women that go and get enhancements because they've been feeling some type of way all their life. You got some that do it just like what Mr. said to show out because it's a status thing. And they already got, or you got some that do it because they want to please their man. They want to keep their man in the house so he don't go out there and be part of that 20% that's fucking. And you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. I don't think it's fair to generalize it all the way. Then you do have that sector of the population of women that are doing exactly what you're saying they doing it for, to go find a man.
I just didn't know that. I just didn't know that. Well, hold on. Wait. Let's back this up a little bit. So the original ones that's on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Plenty of Fish, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the little apps. The original ones, the Amber Roses of the world, the Kim K's of the world. They all. You telling me that they all went and got theirs? And their goal wasn't to get a man? I don't think that's the truth.
Get paid. Their goal was to get paid.
Yeah, to look good and get paid.
Yeah, so I don't think that they did it to get no man, because they was going to get a man anyway that was famous. Like, none of the people you named was butt-ass ugly, right? So they wouldn't have a problem getting no man, but they did it to get paid off of however they was going to get paid, OnlyFans, porn, whatever.
Investment, kind of like with the Anthony Edwards thing. Like, who'd he go and mess with? Freaking, what's his name? Who's the dude, receiver for the Dolphins? What's his name? The fast dude.
They got a lot. They got three of them.
Tyreek Hill. Exactly. He got three of them, like you said. So, like, they out there choosing. They doing that as an investment to try to get, they're going to the places where those ball players are at. Football players, basketball players, whatever. And they doing it to get chose.
Okay, they're doing it to get chose by a man.
Instagram gonna pay him.
No.
YouTube gonna pay him. OnlyFans gonna pay him.
They ain't trying to.
In the course of that, they are hoping to get selected. Why not? Like, that's like just getting drafted but getting paid on the way to the combine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it goes. I don't think we can't be disingenuous. You can't generalize them all to that fact, because a lot of people do it for their own self-esteem.
Yeah, the majority I think do it for the self-esteem, but them girls, they, the ones that, they know they look good and they doing that to themselves. Like, despite that, they doing it to get one of them ball players. I think your boy in New Orleans got a couple of them too, maybe. I don't know, but
but to the same
catch, I would say, but the catch is you're saying it is for their self-esteem, for them to look better. But I'm going to digress and say that in 2000, we'll say 1998, when Aaliyah was alive, nobody was getting BBLs to look like the girls that are looking like now, everybody was hitting the gym and trying to slim down and be like Aaliyah because that woman was gorgeous. And so what we're trying to say is the internet and Instagram and all that good stuff has basically changed the way that women see themselves and feel that they need to quote unquote spend all this money to look this way, when 20 years ago that way was the prime example of the gorgeousness of the best looking thing on the planet. And so that's the catch, is the caveat is that to look that way you had to put in the work. To look this fake as roundabout self, you have to go pay money to look natural. And so that's the thing, is that all these women that are doing it to quote unquote feel better and feel that they need to look better. Why is that the quote unquote pinnacle of beauty rather than what went on 20 years ago?
I mean, things change, man. Things shift. So 20 years ago, like there's been a lot of body positivity stuff going on. So as you noticed, bigger women, I don't want to say they're in style. I don't know if they're in style or not, but uh, there's been kind of a shift, at least to the center.
They're celebrated.
Yeah, there's been a shift to the center to be like, all right, you don't have to be this slim fit thing anymore. You don't have to be this big thing anymore, but somewhere in between is probably where you want to be. So, and curvy is kind of what you want to be as well. So, I think they're just kind of trying to find themselves in that in between spot somewhere.
Yeah, because even if we go back, like we talking like 98, if you start talking about between 88 and 98, black women with boobs wasn't a big thing. That was analogous to white girls and Hispanic girls. You know what I'm saying? And then it was a shift to the slim fit. Then it was a shift to curvy. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying. You're making a valid point, Holy, but I don't think we can deride it because that's just where we are right now. You know what I'm saying?
Big butts in the 80s. I like big butts. That was
right.
a thing back there. And so curvy women, naturally curvy, were still in. I mean, you can't take that away, because
that wasn't in.
Niggas was rapping about it, and even white girls.
When white girls started getting big booties is when everybody started really tripping.
Exactly.
Right.
We liked that, but then the white girls caught on. Then everybody started liking that.
Yeah, right. That's when the black girls like, oh, I got to get my ass better than this. Nah, shit, these white girls catching up.
Yep.
I mean,
we made songs about it. We liked it.
And see, you be watching the thing.
University of Georgia, Oklahoma, the gymnastic girls, man, like, you can't keep up with their bodies like that. So they get surgeries.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's the stuff is here to stay for the foreseeable future. And I don't even know what the changeover would be or what the next trend would be, but where we are now, that's what it is.
Yeah. All it does is go back to it starts over. It's going to go back to big boobs.
I'm going to put it to the chat. Since this is a thing that they do have liposuction body sculpting for dudes, are you going to spend $20,000 to get a 6-pack abs, big pecs and big arms?
Hell no.
Nope.
Men don't do that unless they do it for the gram.
We get older because they look at our money.
But time out. But that's also my point, is that men, we have our quote unquote role models like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Jai White, all these super ripped dudes that we've been looking at ever in our culture, but we've never been like, you know what? I need to spend money to look like that. I'm not worthy of myself unless I look like that.
Well,
I'm not
because
this. And
Women,
but time out.
men,
But on this case, now women. What you said, that a big percentage of those women are saying that I have to spend all this money to look like these Instagram models. And yes, I would say that some of them will do it because they want to look better, but the ultimate reason to look better is to end up with a quote unquote high value man. And I'm saying that there will be small reasons, other reason for them to want to get it done or get it done, but it all leads straight up to the top of, hey, I want a high value man, and I feel like I have to look better than every single woman out there to achieve this, for to get the top 20% of men out there. And so
eh,
like you're trying to say that they have all these noble reasons to do that when there's no real noble reason other than, hey, I'm trying to basically have an easy life, because if I'm the uh, sexiest girl out there, I can have a man take care of me, or like you were saying, I can do OnlyFans, get paid, and then basically I can still get a high dollar man because then I'm making high dollars.
no, I don't agree with that at all, because there are a lot of people that have low self-esteem for whatever reason. They do like the attention of men, and they already have men or whatever else, and I don't think it's anything wrong with that. And then to the point that you were making about how you got the surgery for dudes and all that, dudes aren't going to do it because they have to be functional. If I get surgery to look all ripped or whatever, I got to perform. You know what I'm saying? They're going to expect me to be able to lift up however many hundreds of pounds and do all this other acrobatic shit in the thing, and it ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same thing. I see the point you were trying to make, but the dudes that are doing that sect of the population is overwhelmingly homosexual, because in that community, that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now,
mm,
the women doing it, if they get their bodies done and they want to get a man, they get the high value man, then I applaud it. Woo, 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 woo. We are the ones who do the choosing anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they can get it all they want to, and you got a lot of them that do get breast augmentations because they flat chested. You got a lot of them that get BBLs because they don't have no ass. You know, and if they get a man along the way, cool. But I do personally